avoiding social media at all costs, afraid to enter today's world and get your business growing? It's time to get started because avoiding it is no longer an option. Traditional media is not necessarily working the way it used to for anybody owning a small business. And I am so excited to bring on today someone I've been working with for quite a while, the owner of Fun Love Media, Brittney Crosson. So, Brittney, welcome. Teach us everything.
Hi, thank you, Erin. Thank you, everyone. Hold the applause. Here we are.
Drum roll, please. So, Brittney, I mean, obviously I know about it, but share with my listeners, like, tell me all about you, your company. What was the catalyst for getting started? What do you guys do?
Sure. I am the founder and creative director at Fun Love Media, which is my company that is based here in Houston, but we work with clients across the country, as you are, across the country, and we work together for years. And we identify as a creative marketing agency. And so, at Fun Love Media, we really do like to have fun and we love love. And we have that kind of attitude toward everything because we're doing creative work. So what I mean by that is we're creating all the pieces of content that you see that go online. Like it's photography, it's videography, it's editing, it's copywriting, it's putting these stories together and having people represented well on social media, their websites, and everything online, right? So we think it's super fun, but it's not that easy if it's something that you're not used to doing. And so that's why we love helping brands and businesses with it because as you know, as a business owner, so many cool people out there have businesses and they have this cool story of why they started and it's so inspiring and the work they do is good work and they got great people on their team and all these wonderful things, but like they want to spread the word and shout it from the rooftops but don't know how. And so that's who we help, the people that are doing the good work and want to shout it from the rooftops and spread the word and represent their brand online well. And we love it. We love social media and all the things.
You know what? That just sparked a memory for me. I was many years in corporate America before I opened my own business. And I remember one of my bosses who really developed and helped me grow, right, to become a leader, a sales leader, and really bring me to where I am now. She was like, we got to stop hiding you out in Northern California, right? Like, we got to get you in where the business is. And this is today's equivalent of where we used to be, where we had to travel to home office to get noticed. Now, we're out there exposed and we can be as big or as small as we want to be. And I feel like a lot of small businesses, they don't even know the value of what this can bring to your business. Could you expand a little bit on that? Like, what does it mean to really expand and to market yourself through social?
It is so valuable in so many ways. In fact, I have a goodie that anybody could reach out and get from me for free. It's a little guide, and it's like 7 values of this for a business owner, for 7 values of social media for a business owner, because it's not just transactional sales. It's not just like post a video, make a sale, post a video, make a sale. It's actually much, and that sounds really exciting, right? Like who doesn't want to make a sale? But to be clear, we want the money, but also it's deeper than that. And there's so many things that when you are participating in the social media world as a business, that you end up like reaping the rewards in all these different ways. So a few examples besides money directly, besides just revenue, would be, for example, setting yourself up as a leader in your industry, right? Like, you're smart and you know that you're one of the best at what you do in your entire industry, but everybody else doesn't know that yet, so we need to tell them that you're positioning yourself as a leader. Also collaborations with other people, when you can be sharing content because you were at, say an event and y'all share the pictures that you took together, right? And it's showing this collaboration between you and these other people, and that helps build those relationships that you need in business, and all, I mean, the list goes on, but it does all ultimately lead to growing your business, building trust. Think about this. Okay, think about it. I love using this example. We're going to use Price is Right, Bob Barker, as an example.
My favorite.
Okay, so
I just want to let you know, with a record, I went to a knockoff show in my town at a casino. Super fun. It did not get picked, but I'm going to go again.
I love it.
I was ready to come on down for sure.
I feel it. Come on down. Okay, so for you younger people, it was this really great game. So like, anyway, so here's my example for this. So you compare it to social media. So for years and years, we watched Bob Barker on The Price is Right, and we saw him every day, 5 days a week. And over and over and over. Do we all know him? Did we all know him personally? Absolutely not. Did we feel like we did? Absolutely. Did we start to build trust? He would tell us to, like, spay and neuter your pets, and he would give some sort of life advice or whatever. We trusted Bob Barker because we saw Bob Barker's face over and over and over and over and over again. And that's what social media can do to build that trust. Whenever they see someone's face over and over and over again, they see your face, it's going to build trust because people feel like they know you. You need to know somebody, trust them, like them at least to some degree, and then they're going to buy from you.
100%. It's so funny when I heard you saying that, like, again, my head was going daunting, 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 right? And I'm sure a lot of people, part of their hesitation is being on social media and being active it's a lot of work. And so when you're sitting out there and you're thinking, my small business, what's your advice? Like, what are a big three to get started with your social media? If you've done nothing else and you're just trying to scratch the surface, how do you get started with this stuff?
If you are getting started with your small business social media from scratch, you just want to focus on these three things at first. All right. You need basic equipment. This actually does matter, but you don't need crazy fancy schmancy equipment. You need some basic things. You need to have a recent model smartphone, which most people do, thankfully. And you want to clean off the lens. Clean it off, everyone.
Use it for good.
No smudges on the lens. Okay, let's clean it off. So you want to have your recent model smartphone, and it'd be great to have an inexpensive tripod that you ordered from Amazon, and maybe even a little earbud situation like I have, just regular, or even a little wireless mic, just a few basic things. And I say that because it's really going to help you feel better about the results because you have kind of like a little bit of preparation. So you want to make sure you have that, but it's very basic. You want to make sure that when you do get ready to start filming these videos where you're talking about your expertise or you're showing your store or whatever you're doing, you want to make sure things are well lit. I know this sounds like what? These are the things, but it really does matter because here's the thing. Right now we're in this like attention economy, and you have to grab somebody's attention in the first 3 seconds of them scrolling and scrolling. So when you do have a nice little setup of a nice phone that's recording you and you're well lit, you're going to get someone's attention visually whenever they're scrolling. So these things do matter. And then the third thing is really looking at what can you sustain consistently. At first, we can increase the quantity of content over time. That's cool, especially if you want to grow and you want to just start putting out tons of stuff. But at first, you need to think about what you can realistically sustain, because if you start and stop and start and stop and you're all over the place, it's not going to be helpful. It's just like fitness. Whenever you commit to a fitness plan, you need to have your days a week that you're doing your thing, and you have to keep going and build that momentum. And what happens whenever we stop working out for extended periods of time? We lose our fitness, and then it feels like we're starting all over again.
I lose my fitness.
Well, and that's what happens with organic social media that we're putting out into the world, is that you really can lose that momentum pretty quickly. And I know that may sound like a lot of pressure, but it's the truth. You really need to have this part of your routine. Now, even if you say, you know what, I can put out 2 things every week. I can put out a video that I made where I'm talking about my expertise, and I can put out, a couple of photos from the recent networking event. And you can only do that. Cool, but do it, and do it every week for like 3 months. And then take a sec. Look, can I add a little more? Should I? Does it matter? Maybe it doesn't. And then make those decisions as you go. But I would say look at it 3 months at a time, because organic social takes time to build.
Makes a ton of sense. And, what do you say to people who think they don't have anything to talk about, right? Like, how do you get them sparked? Because I feel like when I talk to some people will tell me like, oh, you do that, Erin, because you like to talk and you can talk about anything or whatever, and they don't know how to get started. So how do you support people on finding their content, finding their truth that they would share?
Well, first of all, let me just go ahead and point out that all of us have watched something quite simple and possibly quite dumb on social media. Have we not? Like, come on.
Minute by minute basis.
I mean, come on, like, think about it. We got to give ourselves more credit, okay? Like, we all watch simple things. And so we have to remember, and honestly, I actually sometimes liken social media not only to fitness, but also to like kind of a therapeutic thing. You do have to kind of dig sometimes and like what you're saying and remember your value. Remember the value of the knowledge that you have and of the work that you do. And it really does matter. Are you trying to impact millions of people? Maybe not. But are you trying to impact, 100? And those really, really matter. And you're going to really actually help those people. That's amazing. And that's what you need to be thinking about. And so not only realizing your value and the value of your knowledge and what you and the work that you do, but also just really focusing on the audience. That's what I find. Like if I start getting in my head about stuff about social media, or if like we have a client that does and they need kind of a pep talk, I'll go, "What? Hang on. It's not about you. It's about the audience." And if you keep thinking about Sally that's out there and she's going to get something good out of your content, then focus on her and not on you.
Right. And that makes it a little easier, I think, to put it in their shoes a little bit.
Yeah, you
Yeah, force out. Yeah, you made me think about it. You said, oh, whether it's 100 viewers or 500,000 viewers or whatever. I think a lot of times when people are starting out, they don't even know what they're looking for. So what's realistic in terms of setting goals, and how much does it take to have an impact, right? Do you have to have 100,000 subscribers? How does that work? And what advice to have for newcomers on that?
I think that the numbers of social media can really mess with all of us, whether it's somebody who's been like me that's been in the game for a very, very long time or somebody new. It can really get to your head. But I want to remind everybody that I came up with this kind of like approach or formula for social media where you really base your efforts upon how many clients, right, if we're talking about business, that you can help. So, for example, if you are say you are a therapist, I was speaking of therapy earlier, and you are able to help people one on one, it's just one person at a time. You're not doing a group thing. You're just, well, do you, what do you need 1 million followers. Now if you want 1 million followers and that's just a cool personal goal, that's a whole other story. But to thrive in your business, to help support that, you don't need that. And the good news is that that means you don't have to go through those aggressive efforts that someone that actually does need the million has to go through, right? So that's how you scale, and that's how you can put it in perspective for your business and go, wait a minute, how many people can I actually serve? Am I a local business? Am I a local boutique? And really and truly, it's just people that live within 10 miles that are coming to me. That likely your numbers are going to be smaller because you're not attracting people from across the country because they're not by your store. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, right.
so you have to have that perspective first and realize like where you stand and what you need to actually thrive in your business. And then also realistically, you said what can you expect? You should grow gradually, but it's not going to be the same as say me as an individual, as a content creator and my Brittney stuff. I'm posting more than once every single day of the week, all year long. What
You're a busy person doing all of that.
No, and I know that's what it takes for me to grow and reach these big numbers, right? But that's just not necessary for everybody. So we have to have that perspective. And also, by the way, unfortunately, some people still buy followers. So if you look at an account, you're like, how in the hell do they have so many followers and I don't? It may not be real. Okay, let's just be real.
Right. No, and that's so good. I mean, and that puts it in perspective because I think it's easy to feel like, hey, I'm not winning if I'm not competing with this person or that person. It's really about a personal growth and your own personal plan. I'll just share in partnering with you. I mean, my base has grown significantly and we do have tentacles throughout the country, so I think that's why it's grown. But what I have noticed is it's grown the right way, right? So I'm developing relationships with buyers. I'm developing relations with agents and brokers that I want to connect and work with and know more about. And the third component is really solidifying some of those relationships I have with providers. So in terms of those three things, I'm provider of healthcare. So those three things I've been able to win, and I don't need 1 million followers for my business. A smaller number is much more realistic in terms of what I can serve and how many people I can help. So I think it's been a really great partnership because I would sit there and see other industry leaders with like 1 million followers, and I'm thinking, well, why is that not me? I'm producing similar content and I'm really not realistically needing that to achieve my goals. So I think it was really helpful to have that discussion.
Right. Well, that, and also, if somebody does want to grow their brand online really big, whether they truly need it to help support that kind of organization that they have, because some things do warrant larger audiences, but or it's just like they want to and they just think it's cool.
They just want to be an online superstar. So what's your advice to them?
You, well, you have, so there's a lot to it, and it's always changing. So you also have to be flexible and go with all the changes and stuff. But I will say that, like, you have to think about it that way every time you make a piece of content. So you actually have to broaden things when you're trying, when your main goal is huge numbers. You have to broaden things enough. You stay specific enough. So like with you, it's like, yeah, I do this kind of work. So you can say this is specifically what I do. But when you have these talking points and topics and videos and whatnot that go online, they need to be broadened up more, or it's not going to appeal to that many people. And it's those little tweaks and touches. Also, it takes a really, really aggressive organic effort, just to be honest, to get to certain levels. Now, I do believe that there are instances in which someone on social media will get to, say that, you do get to 1 million followers. I do think that at some point, depending on your brand, you can slow down a little. Like, maybe you don't have to post twice a day until the end of time, but to get to those big milestones, you actually do. Unless you're, Kim Kardashian, you're already a household name, but most people aren't. So you're starting from scratch and people don't know you and you have to build. And also, what are we all doing? There's so much scrolling, like there's so much content. So you have to, we call it feed the beast, Erin. We feed the beast. And we just
Feed the beast. You just more content, putting it out there.
it's more content, but also, if this scares people, first of all, maybe it should. It's okay, because it is an undertaking, and you have to commit to it. But also, you get really smart with it. You find your own little tricks and ways to create, especially right now, like with short form video, to create more videos at once. Like, for example, when I personally go to create videos, I'm not going to make just one. I'm so sorry. That's absolutely not efficient enough. Like, if I can't,
You don't look lovely like this every single day.
I have hair and makeup done, for God's sake. We're gonna make 10 videos, not one. And you get really efficient at it, just like you would anything else. And again, it's like fitness. You've really built up your your abilities, your strength, and it does feel like it's easier over time.
Definitely. Well, I just know back when we first started and I couldn't get my equipment working to even now, you really can grow and develop. And for all you out there who are in your 50s saying, I can't do this, I guarantee you can. And it's a lot of fun too. It just is fun to collaborate and bring people in and meet new people. And it's opened avenues for me that I never thought of before. And a lot of that is thanks to you, Brittney, for really bringing me along. So for those of you out there who are like, hey, I just need somebody to help me tackle this, help me strategize on my plan, and then actually help me implement it, I highly recommend Brittney and her team at Fun Love Media. Britt, can you share with everybody how to get in touch with you?
Thank you. Oh my gosh, Erin. We've been working together for like, golly, 5 or 6 years. It's been forever. I love it. Yeah,
Basically, online famous now in my Medicare space. So I really have to expand my world.
right. 100%. Uh, okay, so to get more information about what we do, you can go to funlovemedia.com. You can find Fun Love Media on all of the major social media platforms. You can also find me on all the socials if you just want to have some fun, which is my main goal. And yeah, reach out anytime. Send me a message. If you have questions about social media, I'm happy to try to answer as much as I possibly can.
Yeah, you're absolutely wonderful. And watching your business grow as well, Brittney, has been really inspirational. So all you lady business owners out there, Brittney started a small business in a fairly similar time frame as me starting my small business. And I think it's been fun. Well, I'll speak for Brittney, I guess, on this, but it's been fun watching each other grow through this process. And Brittney's just great to work with, super collaborative. And I can't really say enough about you and your team, Britt. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Erin. We appreciate you.
As we send everybody on their way, what's your parting words? What would you leave everybody with if you were to say, hey, remember this one thing about social, or remember this one thing about growing your business through social? What would that be?
I want to leave you guys with this, is that we cannot be so concerned if others are going to judge us for showing up in photos and videos and whatnot on social media to help our businesses grow. We absolutely cannot be bothered with that because one, it doesn't matter. We still have to do our thing and grow our businesses. And two, many times when we hear some sort of judgment or we think that that's what's happening with someone, that person doesn't really understand everything. So their opinion isn't even really a part of the conversation. I think that's a huge thing. It's not just for, individual creators, influencers and things, but for business owners. And I've had these conversations and, people's real life family and friends will make little remarks, at the Thanksgiving table about your little videos, and it makes you not feel so great about yourself, and it makes you because it's a very vulnerable thing to put your face on a screen like Bob Barker did all those years. And I just want to remind everybody that we really have to have that laser focus, just like we do with anything in business, and we really can't let the noise bring us down, and we're going to thrive. And the cool thing is that when you keep going with showing up on social media, those people that may have doubted you are going to end up being like, oh, wow, okay, you're really doing this thing.
You're right. That's such good advice. It's such a good advice for what you do on social media, and it's really good advice for life. There's so many naysayers out there, and ladies in business especially, just set your sight on your goals, keep chipping away at what's going to get you there, and really cut out the noise because you can do it. Brittney did it. I did it. And I'm so inspired to have you on the show, Britt. Come on anytime. Come back. And everybody go visit her. She's an absolute gem, and you'll love working with her. Thanks, Britt.
Thank you, Erin.